fight. When you build yourself, they start seeing their features.
I just pray through it. Had my back on the wall, but God made a way through it. I was down for a while, I won't lie, I was breaking. But the same pressure on me turned me into what I'm facing. Pressure made me a man. Lost a lot, felt alone, had to find God again. Now I stand on my faith, even when I don't understand. Cause that pressure didn't break me, it made me a man.
Thank you all for tuning in to the Anger Management Podcast this week. We thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate each and every last one of you all for coming through. Hey, Ed, can you turn the no, it's not on the mixing board. It's on the small remote, the long skinny remote. Just cut the speaker off down at the bottom. You got it? All right. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank each and every last one of you all for coming through. Please like, comment, and share. Hey, Adina. Hey, Rochelle. Thank you. Once again, we are back this week. It's been a while since I was able to hang out with my brothers. The ones that are here are our regular guys that we kick it with every other week. So I'm going to go around the room. I want to know how you guys are doing. We'll start off with you, Ernest. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Just celebrated the 4th of July, 250 years of freedom.
Freedom. That's it.
Well, when you, hey, look, when you done been in the military 27 years,
I feel you.
fighting for people's freedom. Sometimes people don't understand what you're doing, but it's all a part of the duty that we're called to do.
Hey, I understand. How you doing, Bone?
Man, what's good, man? I'm feeling pretty good, man. Feeling all right. I'm excited about the possibilities, man, so I'm good.
Okay, that's good. How about you, Chip? You doing all right today, brother?
Yeah, I'm breathing.
Like your well-being, though. How your well-being doing?
He just told you, breathing.
Oh, you breathing? Yeah, I can hear you. And our engineer that's through here. How you doing, brother?
Yo, happy, high yellow, and highly favorite, y'all.
Oh, my man, on that skin color thing, bro. Yo, okay, so listen, it's bene a while since we've been on, so I do want to have like a preliminary question. This preliminary question was actually brought to me by Latanya, who had sent me a video about like just icebreaker questions. Now the question is going to be weird. It's not pertaining to the main topic today. It's just to just like loosen us up a little bit. So the question was, it was question number 11. Would you? It's like for $1 million, for $1 million.
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
In this economy, yes.
Hey, Juwan, how you doing? For $1 million, would you smoke crack one time?
Yes.
One time, would you smoke crack?
You said for $1 million?
For $1 million, would you smoke crack one time?
I got integrity.
You got
That's
integrity?
a no for me.
I got integrity too, but I think I can beat the odds. I think I'm a.
Yeah, you gonna make $1 million, but you don't spend it on
That's my fear though. It's like I don't want to get addicted. You know what I mean?
Listen,
Hey,
listen, I may say no, but my mailbox gonna say, do it.
I think that's a tough one because the thoughts here, a lot of people think you can beat the odds. And sometimes like the old saying, once you go black, you never go back, but you go to crack, you might not come back. You may get that $1 million, but who gonna be spending it?
Listen, I don't want to.
Go to they push up.
Oh, listen. I think I could get away with it just that one because I don't have addictive personality.
Okay.
So I think I can smoke crack and do it that one time and be like, yeah, it was a good experience.
But you're gonna look for that high.
I'm not gonna be looking for nothing.
Yes, you is. After one time, you think you just gonna
Come on now. Think about it. Look at Pookie off of New Jack City. He thought he was good till they put him right back in that atmosphere.
No, listen. All I'm saying is I'm not a crackhead.
You don't have to be.
Right. I'm saying it don't look that one time could take you somewhere you ain't never went before.
No, I think you can do it. Just you ride me. I'm gonna start by something crack.
Hey, that's I can't take that chance.
No,
I'm gonna start by something crack, so I get your $1 million.
He just want to be by you so he can get your $1 million. That's what it is. I saw the whole thing.
Leroy gonna be so low.
Man.
Yo, how about you, Ed? Would you smoke crack for $1 million just one time? All you gotta do is once, just smoke it, and then
Well, I'm not fat enough to use crack. I'm borderline
Yes,
big back,
No,
so
you
I don't
are.
need it for the dietary purposes.
No,
because you ain't never seen a fat
you
crackhead.
gotta turn the microphone where it's pointed directly to.
Listen here, man. I ain't supposed to be on this mic. I'm behind the scenes.
But we still want to know if you smoke crack or not for $1 million.
Nah.
gonna
Crack
smoke
is
crack?
whack, bro.
Oh man, you gonna hit us with the
Yes, I am.
Whitney Houston?
Yes, I am.
Oh man, all right then. Well,
yeah.
I guess I'll be your
I'm with
One
you.
and only.
Sharonda Lynn said, "No, crack is highly addictive.
Yep.
And you
See?
would spend all your millions on crack.
Exactly.
Even if you do it one time and you know that you're not gonna want to do it no more.
That one
But
time
they
is what.
try
That's
to
what.
get
Yeah,
back
right.
That one time, they try to get back, and then they become addicted.
Yeah, Latanya, I had to talk about it.
Ah.
Oh man,
right.
so no, I think my thing is that I would do it, but I don't want to be in front of Judge Joe Mathis because he seems to be able to point out all of the crackheads when he sees them. He said, "I know a crackhead when I see one."
He used to sell it to you.
I won't. If you do it,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna sell you crack at first. If you do it, I'll make you $1 million.
Oh, you're gonna take you gonna make $1 million by taking my
He
million.
know you good for it.
Real good for it.
Oh man, thank y'all for allowing me
All
to
right.
let you know what my true feelings are about dope. As Ron said, sure, yes, trust me, come from a dope pusher. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get this show going. This week's topic is going to be the trial. The pain of the trial would never compare to the joy of the blessing. And first of all, before I even get started, are y'all wanting to talk about? Is there a trial that you're willing to talk about that you are now looking back on, understanding the trial that you went through? Well, we'll start with you, Chip.
Oh yes, good. I realized I got a lot of PTSD from things I went through, thinking that it was right, and it wasn't right. But it's a blessing because I went through it. It didn't cripple me, and I know what to look out for. So I would say, hey, don't do it.
What is it that you don't want them to do?
No, I selling drugs. We're gonna keep it on that topic. Selling drugs. I was always low key. Never knew. I always joke everything, but to see my people on drugs through the 80s and 90s, just to see them live, and then see my best friend, one of my best friends, mama was on crack, and she did anything for crack. And I was like,
You sold her?
no, I didn't sell her none. But I saw what she was doing for crack. And that just lead me to believe if you get on crack,
Get it
I
out.
sell it to you. Nah, I wouldn't do it. But anyway, I was just messing with you. No. Because I see what it did to the community. Like, we had a community back in the days. Like, your grandma supported everything. And at that time, you couldn't understand it. But now that I understand, I'll be like, yeah, we made crack famous, but then it hurt a lot of people. So it was a blessing just to get from around that and just to show people you can make it without doing that.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Bo?
Ah, man, been pretty good, man. Just trying to learn certain things about kids, man. You know, I think when these kids get older, man, you try to understand them a little better, man. Having two sons and they both grown, I think, you know, we grew up with what happened inside the house, stay inside the house. But one thing about these kids today, whoever they date, they telling all your business. And so you trying to understand the level of understanding how these kids is today versus to how it was when we came up. When we came up, we kept private stuff private.
Right.
But these kids today, boy, they put private stuff public, especially to whoever they talking to. So just trying to learn how to navigate through certain things with that right there, you know, and these kids different now, bro. I ain't lying to you. They don't care. They will turn on you quick. You hear me? I don't care about that, bro. So it's one of the things, though. That's about it.
No. What about you, Ronnie?
I think I got to go with kids as well, because I'm sure with all of us growing up in our era, we had those neighborhood watch people, you know, that kept you in line, and they were allowed to do whatever they need to do to get you on track when you fall off the track. And not only did they do what they needed to do, they proceeded to call your parents and let you know what you were doing.
Yeah.
So you get that 2-for-1 special. But now the kids today, including some of mine, they off the chain. First of all, they look at you as a bank. And you're grown. My thoughts is, I'm going to help you if you need help.
Right.
But if you're not trying to help yourself, why should I break myself when I've done everything I can for you?
Facts.
And I think some of the things that some of the biggest problems is the disrespect, man. We ain't, if we looked at our parents wrong, it was going to be a beat down. So they ain't just looking at you wrong. They talking back. You know, and for me, it's hard, especially when it's coming from your kid.
Right.
My child told me to take a post down of her because it seemed like it was delusional. No, I clearly put on the post that, hey, nobody's perfect. I made my share of mistakes. I can't speak for anybody else, but I've done my share of mistakes. And I put it out there in the open.
Right.
But because you didn't like how things went and how things transpired, you telling me don't put your picture on there, on the post. Now, I didn't tell you not to put your post on Facebook when you talking about it's Dad's Day and you got somebody else's picture behind you. You know, I know anybody can be a dad, but it takes a real person to be a father. And first of all, when you admitting that you've done wrong, when do you get the benefit of the doubt? Or when do you get that grace and mercy that God has given everybody? So when you're talking about that, that was one of them days I was gonna reach out to all of y'all because I put the post up there the day after Father's Day, and I put a picture of all my kids and my grandkids and my godson. But because you didn't like what was said or the way things happened, you tell me to take your picture off the post. So I take it off, and then you say, "Well, I didn't know you had 7 kids." That's because you ain't been a part of my life. But what you don't understand is all 7 of them include my wife's children. So I don't call them bonus kids because they're my kids. And not just them are my kids. As you are a coach, those kids are not my players. They are my children. And I would lay down my life for any one of them. Because when you're out in the public and you're out in the parks and all that, anything is possible to happen. So I'm not going to let anything happen to them before it happened to me. That's just like it is in the military. The mindset is we start together, we finish together, or we just don't finish at all. But I never leave a fallen comrade. So when I take on a job as a coach, I'm not just your coach. I'm just like your parent. You're just like my child, and I'm going to let anything happen to you. So that's where the problem come in at. And that's where the hurt come in at. That's where the pain come in at, because you've fathered so many children because of the mentorship that you got in your life as a child. So when you're trying to give it back and kids get disrespectful, it hurts.
Right.
You know, I reached out to I saw open at a basketball game, and I asked a parent, I say, hey, how's such and such doing? And they just looked at me like a deer in the headlights. And they say, oh, they got 40 years. One of my players. I couldn't believe it. So I bent down by their ear and I said, did you say 40 years? She said, yeah. Because you were with a group of kids who murdered someone and you didn't want to tell.
Oh yeah, I'm telling. I'm snitching.
Nigga, I'm the biggest telltale in the world.
Yeah, I'm snitching.
If you talk about
fast,
you going or me going,
oh yeah, you got to go. Yeah,
dude, there's nothing about being a punk. There's nothing about being a tattletale that's gonna make me do time for something that I didn't do. Because I don't want nobody to say, yeah, he squealed on me. No,
I'm an eyewitness.
I'm gonna sing.
No, what when y'all was little, y'all didn't do that.
What are you talking about?
What?
Do what?
We didn't tell on each other?
Yeah. Like what y'all
Okay,
do.
well, let me say it this way. A lot of times when we did stuff as youth, we didn't do nothing to that magnitude. And then the thing is, like you said, you were afraid of your parents doing that day.
Yeah,
My grandmother would look at me wrong when I'm saying something out the mouth, and mine immediately closed. Conversation ended.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, me personally, I got a few of them, but the one that really stands out to me was when I was a child. Went through the process of my mom getting sick, right? So my mom ended up getting sick because of stress, and she had an overactive thyroid. They had to kill the thyroid. She lost a lot of her hair, and she just got sick. Now, when we was in D.C., we had ended up moving from these apartment complexes to some apartments in Maryland, and unbeknownst to us, we were struggling then, but it was hidden from us. So we moved to the apartments in Maryland, and we're still struggling. My mom is really not working. She's not able to do the things that she was able to do. And we end up getting evicted out of the house, right? So all of I'm watching the sheriff like put my mom in like the money flying all over the place because she had some money, but not all of it. Sheriff pushed her down to the ground, holding her down, right? And then the people proceed to start taking the stuff out of the house and putting it on the curb. So that will be considered the trial and the pain of watching that happen to my mom and my family. But during that time period, I had like a unbelievable peace that was over me. I wasn't embarrassed or anything like that. I wasn't stressed out or anything. And it was funny, we had a pet rabbit at the time. So I'm there holding a pet rabbit while they are putting all of our stuff out on the curb. What, you ready to laugh? Are you getting ready to laugh?
I am.
Go ahead and laugh. Get it out.
I mean, you got a pet rabbit.
Yeah.
You're cotton
No. But then that's just one. But then that during a recent trial, that kind of came back to my mind about God's unbelievable peace. So that kind of built that back up put that back inside of me as God is always there. But then you start speaking about kids and Father's Day just recently passing, right? And I know my daughter, I love my daughter very much, you know, and she just recently had a birthday, and she just, you know, had asked me for some money, like you said, you know, so she wanted a new Xbox. I sent her half of it. I come to find out, you know, she worked some things out where my full amount that I sent her was able to get the Xbox.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, I'm glad you was able to get the Xbox, but in return, you kind of like will want her to show the same kind of gratitude for your birthday that she did for mine. So for her birthday, I posted her up. This is my daughter. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then for Father's Day or whatnot, it was just like, Happy Father's Day, Dad. And that was it. And it was like, I don't know if she know what like being appreciative is. It's like, okay, I'm your dad or whatnot. And it could have been because of our past relationship. And I was like, okay, well, that's what we're working on. So I'm not really harping over it. But like I said, it does hurt to know that you have gotten to where you are with the help of me as well as your mother, and there is no like gratitude towards it, I guess, if that's the right word to say.
I think that's the exact word, but I think also children seem to think that you don't have no feelings or that your feelings don't matter to them. Because I made the comment, I said, well, hey, it would be nice if you reach out to me when you don't have your hand out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying how I feel.
Right.
Because I want to be more than just a financial support to you.
Right.
But even with me saying that, they went off. I mean, went off. And I understand you still got your hurt and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm still your father, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I'm a big person that when it comes to respect, I don't have no favoritism. Whether you're my child or whether you're somebody else's child, I believe in respect. Totally. I was sharing with Ed before we even started this podcast. I say, you know, I seen an episode of Meet the Pains when Malik was going off on CJ. He was like, no, what you need to do is you need to go back and apologize to my mama. You need to go. He said, Malik, you need to watch your tone. He said, nah, I don't need to watch my tone. You did this, you did that. He said, Malik, I'm the one that gave you life. I'm the reason you got breath in your body. He say, so again, I'm going to tell you, you need to watch your tone. He said, what? And be a man like you? I don't need to do all that. He say, okay. Now, Malik, I can treat you like my son. I can treat you like the man you think you are. He went off and he said before he knew it, he had to jack him up against the wall. Open the door and throw him out of it. And my thought is, where did tough love go? Because sometimes we can be so busy trying to pacify our kids instead of hold them accountable.
You know, I'm at a point now that I know I want what's best for my daughter, right? And the thing is that when I give you clear directions as to how the world works, you choose not to do any of them. And then I had to come to the conclusion that sometimes where they are is where they are happiest at, or where they're cool at. I broke it down like this. I said, you can join the military, but you don't want to do that. The military would have given you different branches, and you had to do it for a few years, and then you can get out. Or you can go to college. You can go to college, pick up and get your education up, build yourself up so that way you can make more money. You didn't want to do that. You can go, and if you don't want to spend that much time in college, go to school to learn a trade, get licensed to do something. Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to get the money to do that. And I was like, okay, well, then if you want to do any of that and you want to work for yourself, start a business. You're here at the house. I can help you with that. I mean, as of right now, your financial load is minimum because you're here at the house. You can start a business at what's the name? And she tried different things, but never completed anything. Everything was started and then was just stopped. It was like, okay, you wanted to do lip gloss, and now you wanted to do body butters like your mother, and then you wanted to live stream like I was live streaming. We get you all of the equipment, you borrow stuff from me, and nothing, you stick with nothing. Now she does music, but then she hasn't put out any new music at all. So it's like, okay, you're started, but you don't finish anything. That's so right. I said, okay, well, if you don't want to do any of those things, because those are the options right now that every person has, and you're choosing to do none of them. So all you want to do is just take your high school education. That's it. And then go to work. And then that's that. And then I had to be really okay with that. I was like, if that's how you want to live, I said, unfortunately, I strive to be more than just out of high school working security or doing some type of security laborer's position. You know what I mean? I have more drive than that. And I would hope that what you see in me will reflect that. But at the end of the day, she's chasing after, and I have to respect that. You're chasing after feelings and emotions, whereas you're not seeing the bigger picture. So when I explained to her, I was like, listen, your dad has a plan on doing some things, but I need for you to see, I need for you to become better before I can put your name on anything, because at the time of my demise, you're going to be like, okay, well, what did dad leave? Well, dad can't leave you anything, because while dad was alive, you hadn't shown him anything. That's right. And I was like, and it's the same thing with God with us. It's like, well, God, what was it? The three guys who had the talisman. You know what I mean? The one who did right by the talisman got more of the talismans to take care of. Matter of fact, he took it from the ones who didn't do right and gave it to the one that did right by it. So I was like, listen, I have these things that I'm working on and that I plan on accomplishing. If you want access to them, I need to see those things while I'm alive. So that way I can pass them on to you. If you don't, if you can't show me anything, then you're going to be watching from the outline or from the outskirts from the entire time.
Yeah, it's called being responsible. If they don't show you that they're responsible enough to receive what you have labored to give them, then how can you give it to them? That's right. I mean, and I mean, growing up, I watched this man's sandwich shop bloom on a major road. He had it set up for his kids, but because the kids had been working as children, they didn't want to do it when they got older. But the thing is, they don't understand. They're not looking, like you were saying, they're not looking at the long term. You got something that's being given down to you that one, you don't owe the bill to nothing. That's right. All you got to do is just keep the business going. And it's sad to say, but it's kind of like Jenkins Barbecue. He labored all these years, and you had a gold mine, because regardless of what anybody say, I don't think there's nothing like Jenkins. So, and that you must be talking about the one by the college, right? Exactly. That's the best one. But the thought is,
Right.
he's done labored. He's done gave you kind of like what we say, the keys to the kingdom. All you got to do is continue to keep it going.
Right. That's right.
And because you don't want to do it, all that hard work, all that labor, then went down the drain.
Yo.
But see, I think that comes with now,
Mm.
and it attributes to my current situation, because the young lady I'm talking to now, Keisha, she has children, and her children are definitely motivated and driven towards certain things. So I would I would love to be able to put all of them on what I have going on and be like, everybody can work on this. But then to have my own daughter that, okay, well, listen, I will hope for you to get around these other young ladies and kind of have that drive fall on you as far as wanting to work and go to school and become something more than just being just what is I hate to say this, mediocre.
I was just gonna say the word mediocre.
Yeah, so, and
let me chime in a little bit too, because I got some stuff about fathers too, boy. God darn, I got some.
Just let me say this one thing. Just for what you saying, just the thing. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
That is true.
Let me say this.
Go ahead, funny bone.
He told me. Hey, I'm like, Chuck, I'm a father too. Jeez. Oh, man, I'm gonna say, God, dog it. Oh, you know what, man? I would say this right here. What I learned too is understanding not to allow their pain to become my pain. And what I mean by that is, man, it was this man said before, when we went through recession, a man started saying, man, you know what? Life is getting messed up. Somebody said, why life is getting messed up? And the man said, because the stock market is going down because of recession. And the man said to him, but you don't have no stocks. And sometimes we get pain for something that don't have anything to do with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the stuff that our kids go through now in life, man, it made me think about when we was younger, what our parents said to us, that they wasn't our friend. And then when we got kids, man, we became close with them, making them our friends and things like that. And if we all can be honest, a lot of us felt, you know, you got parents on TikTok, man, twerking, you know what I'm saying, with their child, bro. You have to know, bro, this is real talk, and I'm not lying to you. My mama, I think I said this before a while back. My mom, somebody told me, they said, man, your mama, she used to wear these black leather pants with the red high heels, and she used to dance her behind off. So I said, really? So, man, I'm going inside the house, and I'm trying to find them black leather pants. I'm trying to find them red high heels mama got, and I couldn't find them. So one day I asked my mama, I said, mama, I said, auntie said you used to dance, and you had these black leather pants and red high heels. And my mama said, yeah, I did. And I said, where it at? She said, I used to get dressed around your auntie house. I never wanted you to see me in my black leather pants. And man, we allow our kids to see so much, bro. You see what I'm saying? My mama was having fun, but she didn't want me to see what she had on because she said it'll make me lose respect for her as my mother. You see what I'm saying? And I think now, man, you got people so wide open, allowing their child to see, as they say, your bill in the refrigerator. You see what I'm saying? The child's not mature enough to see everything. And you know, we thinking it's cool the whole nine, but as they grow up, they're not listening to you. You see what I'm saying? And very few of us gonna stand up and say, yeah, that's true, whatever. You know, we gonna justify being their friend. Understand, being their friend comes with consequences. The consequences is you're gonna lose a locker room with them after a while. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the thing there, man, that I had to say to myself, that that was something that I probably messed up in, with being so close to him, right? You see what I'm saying, and all that, and it's cool at first. It's no, it's cool. You're laughing, you're playing with him, and you're dancing with him, and all that. There. Then after a while, they cussing your behind out. They going back off on you, and you looking like, who you talking to? They're like, I'm talking to you. You know why? Because you became my friend. You see what I'm saying? And I think with us in our generation, it was hard for us because of everything that we didn't have coming up. We wanted our kids to have, right? Man, mama mean, they don't never talk to me. I'm gonna be real cool with my kids. You see what I'm saying? Man, I tell you one thing, all of us in the same room. I'm gonna make sure my kids had their own room. So it was like we was challenging our parents and not even realize that that's what we was doing. But being close and being friends with them, this is what happened, bro. This is no lie. I remember when I was young, if I had company, my company could not go past the living room. They could not go past the living room. Mama would come out every now and then to make sure we still inside the living room. But now what we did, we break it all. Kids get to spend the night. All that. You see what I'm saying? For what? Because I want to be my friends. I want to be my child friends, right? But it's consequences behind it. What? Children. You see what I'm saying? They making babies and all that stuff there. You know what I'm saying? Because we done broke so many rules just to be cool with them. But at the end of the day, what they do, they break our heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's real, man.
Well, listen, as far as the comments go, we have Sharonda Lynn, who stated this. She says, fathers are so important in our kids' lives. She said, I hate to say it, but a lot of times mothers have a higher rank over fathers. And however the mom feels about the father, the children will follow. If the mom hates you, then the kids will too. If the mom loves you, the kids will follow. He says, however, the mother put in however, the mother put in that child about you rather venom or love. This is how the kids will feel. She says, sad but true. And then Jarrell says, she says, what I'm finding out is our generation had struggles. The newer generation did not, because we wanted to protect them. Our dream for legacy is being replaced with entitlement of our sorry youth. I'm not going to say the rest of it, Jarrell.
I got you.
And then she says, yep, she said, my kids freaked out as adults watching me go out in a bathing suit. And I'm going to be real honest with you. What I remember as far as my childhood, I think my mom never had men around us.
Facts.
Never. She never, only one. And that one person, his name was, it was like the Jamaican guy named Connie. That was it. But that's when we was younger. I'm talking about. But after that, I didn't see my mom with any other men. You know what I'm saying? My father wasn't in my life. So, and I guess based off of how you would say it, I would have been the man of the house at such a young age. But how is it that you the man of the house and you don't contribute to anything? Dang, what was that, bro? Did you struggle breathing?
No. I waiting on you.
Did he say, did he do that?
I said.
We'll go back and listen to it.
Hey, man, but on another note, man, I remember when I was teaching at First Coast, and this young man came to school, and he was he needed counseling, and the guidance counselor trying to figure out, like, why do he need counseling? Because it don't have anything to do with the schooling, because he's doing pretty good in school. And he was saying during this time he was going on to MySpace, before he hit Facebook. But his mom was real shapely, had a nice shape, the whole nine, and she constantly was posting pictures on MySpace. But all his friends was looking at it, complimenting it, saying how sexy his mom is. Now his mom is flattered by it, right? But it's hurting him. And I think sometimes we don't realize that our touchdown can be our kids' fumble. And we're constantly making us look good, but understanding, what is it doing to your child? You see what I'm saying? What is it doing to your child? See, because when we grew up, our parents did stuff with us in mind. You see what I'm saying? My mama still did stuff the whole nine, but she still had me in mind. You see what I'm saying? I think with us, we're so wide open now. You see what I'm saying? The whole nine, and you don't realize what these kids go through, because this child they have counseling because of Simplify. His mom got bathing suits on MySpace and all that stuff there, and his friends talking about it on the bus. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And but his mom said it like, as long as your friends looking at me, I'm good. As long as I ain't doing that wrong. You see what I'm saying? But when we grew up, our parents protected us in so many ways, bro. You know what I'm saying? Till there's no question of it. And it floored on me like, wow, that's like, man, you okay? And he was really seriously going through it because all his friends saying how his mom looked. But his mom, she saw it like, and I get the new 40s, 20 stuff or whatever, but even people in our generation, we don't want to share the road at all. I mean, for these little kids to even grow up, because we still want to look young and all that stuff there. But how do your child feel about that? Yeah. How do your child feel about that? You see what I'm saying?
I think even with, and I'm going to switch to today's woman, I don't think it really matters because they focus on how they feel over how anybody else is feeling. So if they're chasing after their happiness, they're going to feel validated by putting themselves out there on social media and getting all of the attention and getting that dopamine hit from people.
That's right.
Telling them that they look good, that they this good, regardless of what age they are. Yeah. See, me personally, when it came to my daughter, I knew that I tried to instill in her that you are beautiful, you are loved, and that based off of how you are, you're going to have this type of personality to deal with people. So I raised her to be like fearless, but you follow these rules to get things done. And unfortunately, when she go to school, she had to. So I was the one that she called. She didn't call her mama about stuff she had to take care of while she was at school. She called me because the teacher didn't do something, so she had to put the pause on them. And then she called her dad when she explained to me, as long as she followed my rules, if you get suspended, just get your work. You'll come home, take care of your work. You're going to be good. You ain't going to have no problems like that. But then you started to realize that how much that as a father you can put into your kid, but society has so many other avenues to impact them to where it changes who they are. Then I realized later on down the line that my daughter really didn't like men, but I'm your father. So that was, okay, she was like, well, you're different. It was like, no, it's not. You just have a hatred. You wanted things a certain way. You wanted to be the girl who had the boyfriend in school and things like that, and wanted to have that, I guess, the it girl factor or whatnot. But it didn't just play out for you like that, So now you have this hatred because everything is a man's fault. This is what happens here and this is what happens there. And then when I'm trying to instill correction in you, it becomes more of a problem because you feel like a man shouldn't be telling you anything. Right. So I'm thinking at that point, if you really feel that good, then maybe it's about time for you to go ahead and get your own place and go. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I think the trial of just raising them.
Yeah.
It's a pain. Now, I love my daughter very much, and she's very independent. And right now, I think she's in a season where she's okay and where she's feeling loved. But it's a double-edged sword where she's at right now, and I can see the possibilities. And as a father, it's like, okay, well, yeah, don't put all your eggs in a basket. So when I tell her, listen, you just got your apartment. Have you thought about whether or not you and him don't work out? Can you afford that apartment by yourself?
That's it.
And I think sometimes she tells me what I want to hear.
That's it.
To appease me.
That's it.
Do I think that you can afford that by yourself with the income that you got doing the job that you have? Right. I don't believe that you can.
You don't want to hear.
But at the end of the day, you're like, okay, well, it's you and them and y'all splitting the bills. Okay, but something I might like each other today. I was like, you already see what happens if y'all not working on it. I'm a prime example of that, So what happens? Have you thought about the outcome of what it could be if you are able to take care of yourself? Because then at the case, you're going to have to either move back home with me.
That's it.
Or move back in with your mother. And which one are you going to want to do?
Facts. That's
you know
good.
what I mean?
That's
So,
good, bro.
Yeah, that's where I stand as far as the children and the trial of children comes in that.
But I still think it revolves around respect, man. It still revolves around respect. Like what Funnerbone was saying right now, the thought is this. Our parents demanded respect from their children.
That's right.
So they were not going to do anything that would cause you to see a different side of them or cause you to have any disrespect for moments
No, they took respect.
Yeah, they took respect. They demanded respect and they commanded respect from you. So you're not going to do anything that's going to be distasteful or make them lose respect for you.
That's right. That's right.
That's where that come in at. So like we say, we know our parents was doing stuff, but we never saw it.
Yeah, that's true.
And nobody else saw it, especially your
they
friends.
didn't have no internet back then.
Right.
Well,
they ain't have all that stuff that they have now.
They're really careful. Yeah, and to even add on to that, I'm gonna use, for instance, even when I do my big shows, I have my shows, and you guys been rocking with me for a long time. Somebody said, how are you able to still have success in doing what you're doing to make people know as less about me as possible? And the thing of it is that we all gonna do stuff, but everybody don't supposed to see it. And sometimes when you allow people to see a lot of your flaws, you see what I'm saying? That's the worst thing that can happen. And what happens is sometimes we just leave ourselves to a point of being wide open, that the child able to see this and that. Number two, I will say this here, or using an analogy of my mom used to cook a meal and it take her about 8 hours to make a doggone meal. And I used to look at Mama like, Mama, why it take you so long to make that meal? And she said, because it's the right ingredients, and of course we can have leftovers for tomorrow. How these kids is, they don't want to make a homemade meal in life. They want to put it in a microwave. They want it quick. They want the same thing that we have, but I want it in about 10 minutes. You see what I'm saying? I want to make this meal in life that you got for 8 hours, but I'm gonna try to find a faster way. You see what I'm saying? And everything they do is microwavable. Every decision they make is microwavable. And the sad part, and here's the sad part about what they do, because my kids did to me, so I know I ain't by myself, is guess who be their attorney? We do. They hire us to be their lawyer on taking their case of putting this in the microwave. You see, it's not going to work. But now we have to take their case on them putting it in the microwave. And what we do, you like your child never did messed up. My child, it's going to work. And God said it's going to. Then we start using Bible scriptures to help them jokers out. You see what I'm saying? Knowing that we know what they're doing, it's not going to work. But now they done hired us in some kind of way to be their lawyer. You see what I'm saying? Right. To help justify every decision they make. I told my son one time he was doing something. I said, bro, you can run long, but not for long. You can run long, but not for long. I mean, so after a while, you're going to give out of gas. Yeah. But these kids, they just go so fast and they don't have a game plan to just take their time and make a homemade meal in life. They throw it inside the microwave because in their mind, they want to do everything that we do, but they want to get there quicker.
Check this out. Have you ever seen the movie The Longest Walk? I think it's called.
Absolutely.
And it's about making, the movie really is not about even the walk. If you really pay a close attention to it,
consequences.
Yeah, decisions. Right. It's the decision. Like you look at the percentage.
Yeah.
You had all of these individuals saying, "Okay, well, I think I can do it. I'm going to walk this." And when you sign up, that whole purpose is that if you stop, you die.
You die. Yep.
So your decision, like I think all of the guys, all of the people that decide, it was a good movie. I think all of them decided, okay, well, I'm going to get my wish, my one wish. Mm-hmm. I think all of them were dumb. Yeah. Every last one of them was stupid enough to make an attempt to try to do something like that, put your life on the line to try to get one wish. And it's like 80 or 90 of them out there, and you got to walk. And then you don't realize when they say you got to walk and keep walking, that's exactly throughout the night, throughout the rain. Right. You don't stop. And then they got this torture method in China where they take a drop of water and they keep landing it on the same spot on your forehead over and over and over again. It's just like that. So when you speak about this whole microwave, they'll think about it real quick. Oh, that sounds good. Am I gonna die? Oh, well, I can make it, and then I'm gonna do it. And next thing you know, what happens? You end up getting killed because you're making a bad decision and not thinking about all of the possible outcomes of the decision.
You better believe that.
Well, you think about it this way. This is why the devil plays tricks on your minds. He show you something that's appealing to you, but he don't show you the consequences, because there's a consequence for every action that we do, whether it be good or bad. He's going to show you something that looks good to you. He's just not going to show you what the consequences of it is.
Consequences are more dangerous than decisions.
Exactly.
Because it's permanent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Definitely permanent.
Absolutely.
A decision, I hear people say, "Oh, you can make a decision, you can live with it." No, you can erase that.
Yeah.
But consequences, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you chose to live with.
That's right.
Then the flip side of it is too, when these jokers get older, then now they meet somebody. This when they get harder because man, I ain't lying to you. I had my son was dating somebody, man, and I'm trying to be a nice mentor, try to tell her some good things about life. And I said, sweetie, I said, things will work good if y'all work together. I said, everything will be all right. I'm thinking she gonna say, that make a lot of sense, sir. She said the man who cheated before. I'm like,
oh, he done pillow talk.
I'm like, he done told you everything.
Oh,
Joker done told
Lord have mercy.
This Joker done told. And so
man.
basically, the thing of it is you already disqualified before you even talk to them. Because
Lord have
your
mercy.
child done told them
what
everything
about you.
that you already disqualified. You can't say nothing. You can't correct them because your child had already told them everything to disqualify you. To say anything, even if they wrong, you still disqualified. These kids now, they wicked but wiser, man. Ain't no question about it. When I tell you I done learned so much about these little kids, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something for real. Everybody watching. I'm gonna get my own cruise that's called F Them Kids. And man, I want y'all to come join me. Hey, they can't call us. Give me their cell phone number. Their cell phone number gonna be blocked. They can't contact us. F them doggone kids, man. I ain't lying to you, man, when I tell you all my business went in the street from my doggone, that's my oldest son. Everybody he meet, he can meet somebody on Black People Meet. He gonna say, how you doing? Let me tell you about my daddy. Don't even meet him yet. Well, these kids, something else, man. I'm telling you, boy, they make you laugh, man. I'm telling you. I don't even mess with them jokers, man. Help them doggone kids. Cruise line coming 2027. I got it coming, man. I'm telling you, help them kids, man.
Listen, as far as the comments go, Jarrell has a couple of them in here. She says, as a single parent, I always moved in a pathway to protect my son and daughter. He said, I didn't need anyone to validate me. My first job in love was protecting my children. And then she says, showing my backside was not as important as protecting them. My mother contract with God as a parent was 1 through 18. Protection and motherly image was always first. And lastly, she says, I don't live with grown kids. I will help, but they are not welcome to live with me. And then she puts 118 again was my contract. To say I keep, I guess that age 1 through 18. Okay. So I keep a place she said, I keep a place they can rent. No joke. Better have my money. Rent due on the 1st. You know, I said the same thing as far as what I got building up for her. So I'm hoping that she gets her mind right. But I think honestly, if she's anything like me, change and open up your mind to do things differently sometimes takes a real impactful situation to make you kind of jar your head to go in another direction. Yeah. So given the circumstances, I feel, and I'm not putting anything on her or them, but if her current situation happened to where her heart gets broken or whatnot in this particular situation, it's going to make her possibly open up her eyes and realize, listen, yeah, I can't depend on what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to kind of work to do things on my own. And if somebody come along, it should be because I want them to come along, not because I need them to come along. And that's one thing I hope that she gets from the current lifestyle that I have now. So currently, what I do is, and what I've done is that I just had an open conversation with Keisha's children and just let them know what my intentions were as far as, okay, well, you all see me around a lot. Okay, so what are you all expectations of me? And I'm gonna let you know what my expectations are of you all. And then it was very productive outside of Chip being a jokester or whatnot, you know. But outside of that, my daughter was there as well, and she had. I'm assuming and I'm hoping that she see a different version of me than she did when I was with her mother.
Yeah,
So
and also let me say this here too, and I always tell my sons this right here. And I love reading different quotes. A lady by the name of Lucille Ball, who used to run I Love Lucy. I love reading what she put. First of all, she put when she was a comedian, she said, "I'm not funny, I'm brave." A lot of us, what we do, even as comics, we may not be funny, but we brave. But one thing she said too that stuck with me. She said the most important thing in a person's life is admitting what you cannot do. See, sometimes the parents in our generation, we feel that we can do everything. Remember a long time ago, if we couldn't read something, Mama say, "Miss Thompson know how to read real good. Ask her to help you." You know what I'm saying? If we didn't know, and Mama didn't know how to do something, she will send you to somebody that know how to do it.
Right direction.
She will point you to the right direction. Parents in our generation, we believe we could do every doggone thing. There ain't nothing we cannot do.
So,
and when this lady wrote a quote that the most important thing is admitting what you cannot do. That was so important because of the simple fight. You are admitting that I can't do this. Mama don't know how to do this right here. But our parents, they was able to admit what they could not do. With us, we can do everything. Knowing stuff we can't do, we still saying that we can do. And it messes up with the child because now the kids thinking like, "Mama, I know you don't know what 7 times 7 is." You know, I know you don't know what 7 times 7 is. I keep asking you what 7 times 7 is. You saying, "You don't know. You don't know." That's why I'm asking you. You see what I'm saying? But the thing of it is that there was a lot of stuff that we didn't admit that we did not know how to do. I thought being my child friend, man, was going to be in my benefit. You know what I'm saying? I thought that being my son homeboy, you see what I'm saying, that was going to make it cool. And when I realized that it bit me in my behind was that one time we had a heated discussion and he went right back at me. And I'm like, "Bro, who you talking to?" He said, "I'm talking to you." I'm like, "Man, what's going on?" So I'm thinking about all the fun times we had of being friends, of all the fun times we had joking around and all that stuff there. But in a heated discussion, this what happened. So it's a true story. Me and my son was watching the basketball game one day. And LeBron James, one of his favorite players, he shot the ball, hit it. My son said, "LeBron James is my MF. That's my MF." I said, "Okay." It was a joyous moment. We good. But this how the enemy gets you. We got an argument one day. I said, "Son, man, you messing up." He said, "MF, let me tell you something." But guess what? I allowed the word MF
to come out,
come in on the good times. It's already there. So if it's already there, when the bad times, it's easy to say it. And see, sometimes we allow them to do stuff during the good times, not understanding it's in the house now. It's in the house. See, I allowed for him to say MF when we were celebrating. See what I'm saying? I never stopped him. I never stopped him from saying MF. So now we get into it. Guess what's inside the building? MF.
see,
and I thought about that.
check this out, right? When you bring that up, there was a situation that came up between me and my daughter. Now, the situation that came up was because she's already in this mindset that she doesn't like men, right? So I'm in a depressed state at this moment. So I'm self-isolated, right? Don't want to pour on them or bleed over them, which I know now during therapy, that was the wrong thing to do. I should have been able to discuss with them, let them know this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. But I wasn't able to articulate it. And I didn't think that they cared enough to matter based off of me feeling loved based off of what I would produce and what I would do. I didn't feel love in any other kind of way outside of that, right? So I left a soda can on the counter. Oh, that's an empty soda can. I just finished drinking it. I left it on the counter by the trash can, by the trash bag. My daughter comes to me right here down the hallway, and she was like, "Well, Dad, you gonna go in there and get your trash off the table?" And I said, "Well, Nana," I said, "Nana, I'm gonna come in there and get it. Don't worry about it." She was like, "Well, no, you need to get it because it don't belong there." I was like, "Who you talking to?"
Right.
You know what I mean? And she was like, and what she said, she was like, "Well, no, I'm just saying because we always doing this." And I was like, I was like, don't bother. I was like, what is it bothering you so much that the can is right there? I'm going to get it. She was like, no, because it just don't belong there. You need to put in. So I got it. I'm not in the right state of mind. So I'm kind of heated. So I jump up and I get in her face and I said, make me do it.
Exactly.
I said, you so big and bad, make me do it. Now, during this time, her mom is in the laundry room. She hears the back and forth between me and her. She doesn't say anything. But I do believe that was the moment that at the time where Keita was in the room is where she says that was who I was. So that one moment that I was lacking, that was that one moment that defined me, saying that was the real me. Now, granted, I have never done that ever, but my mind state, I wasn't in the right state of mind at the time. I would have just told, no, listen, then go put it in the trash or something. But given at the end of the day, now that I see it, you know, I mean, our kids will cause us to go there, and how the enemy will then, what made her think that it was okay or she was comfortable enough to come and tell me something to make me do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
right.
because there obviously was a situation or something that happened beforehand. Either she saw it or she did it before and I probably didn't check it or something like that. But now that I'm checking it, I'm checking it just as aggressively as she's coming at me with it.
Right.
And it doesn't look good. And then it changed the perception of me in the eyes of both of them.
But see, it's harder because you got to figure we can let go of some stuff and forgive. But like what Thunderbone was saying, if it's something that we've done as adults, kids hold on to that.
Yep.
And they remind you of that. So the thing is, just like we're asking God to show us grace and mercy, we have to ask God to show them grace and mercy, because sometimes it ain't easy for us to maintain our own, like you're saying, our own temper, our own actions, because at the end of the day, we feel like, well, we're still the adult in the house. But if you've done something wrong and they know about it, they don't feel like you could tell them anything.
You ain't question about that. You're right.
You can't question me about nothing. Look at what you did.
Right.
So it don't matter. You know, what we have to understand is because I had a friend of mine tell me, well, look, I'm going to just be honest with you. Your daughter may not forgive you to the day you die. Mm-hmm. And this is what I told them. I say, well, I can't hold that again. I can't stop living my life because of how she feel. Mm-hmm. I got to continue to live my life and ask Lord to just touch her heart. But at this point, I had to pull back, because my thoughts is, if I don't pull back and I keep pushing or trying, and she keep doing stuff that's hurting my feelings, like you say, we got emotions, we got feelings. As adults, regardless, we have emotions and we have feelings. And when you do stuff, sometimes it does hurt us.
That's right.
So to keep you from hurting me, I'll pull back.
That's real. And I say this here, too. Pain is a gift that nobody wants. If you look at a woman giving birth to a child, she have to go through pain. It's a gift, because guess what? The child come out, she's happy, she's excited. When I came up, when we all came up, there was different metaphors that our parents use. You know, sometimes you have to let the child know the stove is hot. That's pain. You don't talk your child out of putting their hand on the stove. See, in today's generation, they got all kind of rules and stuff that you should prevent them. But when we came up, your daddy allowed you to touch that stove, to see that stove is hot. I think a lot of times in our generations, we fought our kids' battles for them. We never allowed them to hit concrete. You see what I'm saying? Remember when my son moved out the house, man, true story. He had got a bill. His bill said Geico. He said, what's this? Got a bill. I said, yeah, I forgot to tell you. You got car insurance now. He said, this is what he said. He said, but I sent my car note out already. I said, huh? He's already paid my car note. I said, no. You got car insurance. He didn't understand what I was talking about, because I was paying it for him for so long that he didn't know. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of things we protect our kids from. You see what I'm saying? From paying cell phone bills or all these things here, the whole nine. And then when they got it, they didn't know what was going on. When I gave them his car insurance, this true story, he called me and said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "What?" He said, "You got a problem with me or something?" I said, "Problem?" I said, "Nah, what?" He said, "Because why you throwing these bills on me?" I said, "First of all, they're yours. But the way we grew, the way we treat our kids now, we protect them so much from every single thing.
Not me.
So when life comes, they don't even understand what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Because we keep them away from concrete. Concrete was the way that we learned. I got taught how to swim by being. I got taught how to swim by being pushed inside the pool. You see what I'm saying? Now they go to an 8-week course. You see what I'm saying on how to swim, how to doggy paddle. We got taught by being thrown in the pool. You see what I'm saying? It's real talk. But at the same time, you got a choice. You're going to either sink or swim. It's on you. You see what I'm saying? But our parents allowed us to touch that concrete, allow us to feel it. We allow our kids to touch the cushion. We'll throw cushion down. You see what I'm saying? And allow them to just hit their face a little bit and all that. But Dad, he allowed us to fracture bones. You see what I'm saying? Because we learned from that. We learned from touching that concrete. But us today, we don't let them touch it. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I did everything that I could for my kids not to feel concrete. I'll talk noise. You know what? I ain't gonna help them. Then they fall. I see them falling. I got them. Oh, Lord, we're going to throw this mat down here right quick. I don't want to hurt too much. And that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really allow them to really hit that full
rock
concrete.
Bottom.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how they going to learn. But
listen,
we don't allow them to do it.
See, I went, my daughter wanted to get a car. Mm-hmm. Because she got into a couple of accidents, and a couple of accidents she ended up getting into were in the vehicle that I gave her. Right, so you got a vehicle; it's not paid. I mean, it's paid off. You don't have any kind of note on it or anything. But then you get into a couple of accidents. Now, one of two things you can do: if you have the money saved up, the type of insurance that you have is not going to repair your vehicle. It's going to take care of the other person's vehicle because of how old the vehicle is. So I explained it to her that way. I was like, well, one or two things you can do. You can go get an estimate to see how much it costs to repair it. Why not go do that? Or you can try to trade in the vehicle and then get a new vehicle if you can afford the monthly payments. And she was like, okay. And when she called me up, she's like, well, Dad, can we go to the dealership? I was like, okay. I was like, but I'm letting you know now, I'm not co-signing for anything. You have to be able to do it on your own. So we go through the whole rigmarole, and they come back, and I even told the dealership people, I was like, don't you come in here telling me, listen, all we need for you to do is to sign it, and she can refinance in 3 months. I was like, no, you're looking for a sale. I'm here so that way you all don't screw her over.
Right.
I was like, if she can't get it off of her own merit, then there is no need for her to have it right now. And I was like, that's what she's like, well, a good father. I was like, no, a good father is going to tell her exactly what I'm doing right now. So she goes through the entire process and realizes that she doesn't have the credit and the finances right now to be able to get it. I'm hoping that this would jar her to let her know, listen, I need to get my money together. No, she goes to the car, and I know her feelings and stuff was hurt, but I take her to eat right after that. And I was like, well, you want to talk about the situation? What happened? What's going on? She was like, well, Dad, I don't understand why you wouldn't just co-sign for me because I take care and pay all my bills.
Oh, man.
And I said, no, you take care and pay your bills when you want to take care and pay your bills. I was like, okay, so you told me about your phone, but you told me what you wanted to know, you told me what you wanted me to know about why your phone was going on and a payment was missing at this month, and this is why they cut it off 3 months, all of that other stuff. I was like, okay, well, if you're willing to tell me that, which sound like complete malarkey to me, then I'm not about to go ahead and put my name on anything where you can't tell me the truth. I just don't like to be lied to. And if it feel like a lie, then it's a lie. I said, you're grown now, so I don't have to call you on it. I don't have to put energy behind it. So she got in the car and she cried and everything like that. But she, like, to this day right now, she's still driving the same vehicle, but she had enough credit. Well, now listen, check this out. She stayed here with me. And I told her you didn't have to pay no rent. Now, the rent that you was paying with your mom was half. I want half of your half.
That's right.
So that way you can get back on your feet, get your credit and stuff built back up. You can possibly then get a car that you can afford. But she still has the same car, and she used whatever she has to get this apartment. Now you got a boyfriend. Now I want to see how much your boyfriend, because I told you what a man is supposed to do for you in your life, what your boyfriend is going to do to assist you. Because right now it's hands off. It's y'all living y'all life. So how y'all going to do it? I was like, for your birthday, I can help get you your Xbox. But your car, it's at 2011. How long you think that's going to keep running?
And you know what's funny though? It's key that you said that, and I think even what I was explaining to my son before, the difference of the two is different from learning how to live and learning how to survive.
Right.
And a lot of them today, they just learn how to survive. They're not trying to live; they're just trying to survive. And we're trying to show them the way to live. And I told my son before, I said it's a total difference on how to live and how to survive, and how the kids take care of their business today. They ain't thinking about living; they just thinking about surviving. How can I survive? And I told my son, I said that's the most dangerous way to live, on just surviving. I said, man, you want to live. You want to live. And the thing about it is when they get paid today, they want to have enough money in their account to hold them to next payday.
Or they
And
do
they-
that advance pay.
Yeah. and they gonna fall into survival mode. And I told my son, I said, this is what happens. You guys fall into survival mode. And I told him this here. I said, as a parent, I don't care what you do. What make me mad is that when your plan don't work, you call me. Why you can't call you? I mean, if you that good on your plan, work any plan you want to work. But if it don't work, call you. But you call us when the plan don't work. You see what I'm saying? And that's the part that really gets me, man. And that's why, again, I got a cruise coming up.
This
Y'all
ain't-
know the name of it.
Man, we say iron sharpeneth iron. So here's the question I got for the panel.
Right.
We grew up on what we call tough love.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we implement that for ourselves with our kids? Because we love our kids, and that's why a lot of us are trying to do everything we can for our kids. But when do you get to a point where you say enough is enough, and you have to let them fall on their face, like you say, on the concrete,
and
and
that's
apply that tough love to them?
I tried that. And I got beat to sleep. I'm gonna tell you why. I tried it for a minute. My son, he's in the military now, but he played ball, played real good. You know, Marquise played
Right.
pretty good ball. I played ball, so I know the difference between a kid that can play Power Five. Power Five is the big colleges that you see on TV. I played for Ed Waters. I played on channel 6500. You know, y'all wasn't on TV. Y'all probably never seen it. But my son, he was good, but he was kind of like Ed Waters good. You got me?
Right.
But everybody got in his head, blowing his head up, saying he was Power Five good, right? So he got so high on that. So one day, I came to him and said, I'm trying to do the tough thing. And I said, hey, so you good, but you ain't that good. His mama came right behind me. God said, I'm going to tell you what God said. See, first of all, I ain't going to allow that around my son. You see what I'm saying? So now it looked like, being that I was being tough, it looked like I was hating on my son. You see what I'm saying? And that's the hard part about tough love. If they got so many people around there that give them fake love, that the one that give them tough love, it looks like they don't care about them. You see what I'm saying? Because so many people around there is feeding them rat poison. You see what I'm saying? So when you come and feed them the real, hey man, you ain't that good. Bro, you look how you eat. I told my son, I said, I could tell how you eat, bro. You wake up eating honey buns. You honestly think you gonna be able to run up and down that court? Sure enough, people around him. Don't listen to him. He's just hating on you. He ain't. And that's the hardest part about tough love. Is that they got it now, that they got it set for us to give tough love to make it look like we don't love them.
But how do you
We don't
not
care
let that
about
affect you? That's my question.
Don't worry about it.
I think that's
just-
probably the best thing.
The main best thing to do, man, is to say what you say, mean what you say, and just keep it moving, man, and understand this right here, and I live by this right here. I would rather for you to dislike me now and love me later. versus to love me now and hate me later, because the latter is the greater. So whichever you do second, that's the one that's gonna last, right? So that was something that I had to get a grasp to. That, man, listen, I'm gonna say some things that's gonna make you not like me now, but love me later. You see what I'm saying? And I was gonna have to be okay with that. I'm gonna have to be okay with being the bad guy. And I think it's hard for us to say, you know what? I know I'm gonna be the villain on this right here.
Here's what I think, okay, and I know Chip probably want to say something, but I'm starting to understand and realize that men in the family are going to be the villain, because we are the ones who set the rules. You can and can't do these things. And that even goes as far as up to our women, like, oh, I don't want to see you with this on social media. Take all of that. Matter of fact, don't even do that. Or is that what you're going out in?
Right.
No, you can't wear that when you go out
Facts.
because of that. So you're going to be vilified anyway in the home. So how you want to be vilified is going to be one way. Okay, at the end of the day, if I know that you're not going to like me, you cannot like me, but you're going to respect me.
That's right.
At the end of the day. So that's the way I look at it. Now, my daughter, as far as doing that tough love thing, I know based off of how she is, I have to let her touch the stove. I have to let. My goal is that I keep her in prayer every day.
Yeah.
Just to make sure whatever she decides to do or get into, that it doesn't bring extreme harm to where it threatens her life.
Yeah.
Or it gets her assaulted.
Yeah.
Okay. But whatever she has going on, that life, you lose. Like, she lost her job, and when she lost her job, everything was stressing her out and stuff. So how do you handle that? You know what I mean? You're dealing with living with your mother, and your mother wanting the half of the rent, and then she, you know what I'm saying? So it's things that you have to, because that's just life. You're going to come up and you're going to be in an apartment and you're going to lose a job. And now what are you going to do now? Because I've been trying to tell you need to have multiple streams of income. Okay, you need to, don't just focus on just making a paycheck from your job. You're going to have to work now, but the tough love now is that I have to stand back. And me standing back now is like, you're in a position where you're doing what you feel is right. But you already know how I feel about the whole shacking up thing and playing married and playing boyfriend and girlfriend and stuff like that. You cool because you don't live under my roof anymore and dealing with my rules. But do you think doing what you want to do is going to be okay with your boyfriend? Because now you're under his rules now. And if he's okay with that, you need to question certain things that you was doing under my roof compared to what you're doing under his roof. And at the same time, what is it that you get mad? You can't kick him out. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all name on the lease, so y'all got to now deal with it, unless you're gonna do like the latter and don't care about whatever you got going on and just leave whatever it is there. So at the end of the day, my thing is that I let go, and I let God.
And that's a good thing to do too. And I also think too, one thing that I had to implement on a quote that I love to read that say, "What can losing teach you that winning cannot?" I think we put our kids in a position to win everything they do. And we haven't showed them how to suffer a loss, how to act when you lose. That's why when they face a loss, they give up. Because we put them in a position to win so much. Mom, I want these shoes. I got you. I want this. Say less. You see what I'm saying? They never really came out the gate with losses. They had victories in every single thing. My son, man, he was playing basketball and he wanted to go to a school that was already good. When me and you came up, that was a no. No, we ain't doing that. I want you to stay where you at and get your behind whooped. You see what I'm saying? Because you're going to learn from them losses. But what we do, we put our kids in positions to never lose. We put our kids in positions to have all victories. But losing teach you far much more than winning can ever teach you. But when they come up, they victorious. So then they'll face a simple loss and give up on life. You okay? I just want to end my life. Why? Because the job didn't hire me. What? Because you didn't get it. What? Because of the simple fight, they don't know how a loss feel. So, and that's the part right there, is that being that we never really allowed them to feel a defeat. I told my son straight up, when we grew up, getting our behind whooped, that was good for us. That's the way we learned. We learned from losing. Whatever we lost, we was able to learn from it. You see what I'm saying? With kids today, it's not like that. Kids that when we grew up, some of us grew up in poverty, right? And we learned from that defeat. you know what, boy, that's gonna energize me. But these kids in the suburbs now, see what I'm saying? They got good lives now. They eat, they got food everywhere. They got snacks in the pantry, all that stuff there. So and surely we saying that, you know, we want to give them a good life, and we have done that. But at the same time, have we used the balance to allow them to taste defeat? A lot of them is going into life lossless. They have no loss on their columns. And a simple loss they get, it could be something so simple, a breakup. I'm going to commit suicide. What? I mean, anything that comes across their way that comes with defeat, they want to give up. You know why? Because of simple fight, a lot of us allowed them to go through life. You see what I'm saying? Not losing. Somebody told me something before that made sense. Inside the Bible, they got something called footprints in the sand. If you look down, you see footprints, and God was showing us those footprints. It's not our footprints, it's Him carrying us. And the same thing what we do for our kids. Our kids think they got it all together. They think they have it all together. I told my son, I said, man, what size you wearing shoes? My son said, I wear size 13. I said, I got you. I said, I wear 10 and a half. He said, what that mean? I said, if you look down right now on the ground, you won't see a size 13. You'll see a 10 and a half. I've been carrying you. But you was thinking it was you walking, but it was me walking for you. And I think that we got to let them walk on their own. Let them walk, because they think they really be having it all together, not realizing that it's us walking for them. See, when we grew up, our daddy said you can walk on your own. You see what I'm saying? Number two, when we learned how to walk, we had hard bottoms, didn't we? White hard bottoms. They don't even wear white hard bottoms anymore. The first thing they're doing is buying them LeBron James and all that stuff. There. They ain't even really learning how to walk. You know what I'm saying? Because they're caring about how they look. You see what I'm saying? But it's just the fight of the matter is we have to let them walk on their own. Let them walk. And listen, and we learn how to walk, we'll fall down, hit our jaw. What our mama say? Get up. And we will stay there trying to learn how to walk. We'll hold our balance. Okay, I got this. If they stand up, we walking a little bit, we'll fall down again. Get your mind up. But what we do now, we hold them, and you know, we walking for them and the whole nine and all that. And that's the same thing what we do in life. You have to let them hit their jaw, show them what can defeat, teach you that winning cannot. Allow them to taste defeat. Allow them to taste it. Allow them to taste how it is to lose. Allow them to taste how it is for your team not to win the championship. And on top of that, allow them to still shake hands for a team who beat your behind. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing right now. And that's what I learned on how to help them. Show them how to taste defeat. Show them how to shake hands with the word no. And that's real.
So they got this quote, right? And when you speak about that, they say hard times create strong men, and strong men create good times. It says good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. So given the circumstances, what times do you think we are actually in right now? Because what is it? Are we the strong men that are creating the easy times? And as our children, are they the weak men that are going to create the hard times, which means that the next generation really got a lot that they're going to have to deal with, because these weak kids that are soft and they can't really figure out how to think out of.
Father. They don't have no father. A lot of them don't have no father.
I mean, we just.
Sister.
I mean, we didn't have fathers growing up. I know I didn't, and you know,
but look how strong the mothers, aunties was.
Yeah.
Not this generation.
Not the big mamas. That's what you want to call them, the grandmamas.
Ain't no big mama. Ain't even no real grandmas.
Right.
They Gigi. Now. G-ma.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And to me, I believe parenting now is almost being equivalent to what the jobs say, stuff you can't talk about, religion, politicians, and things like that. Because of, I think when we was coming up, parenting was an open discussion. Now it's a heavy debate. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody parent so different. You see what I'm saying? To when we was coming up, it wasn't like that. It was similar. A little bit like, for instance, if I spend a night around your house, your mama got the green light to wear my behind out. She has the green light. Then when I get home, I get another whooping. You see what I'm saying? The whole nine. I go around Chip House. Guess what? His mama never met my mom before, but they're under the same rule book and guidelines. Now it's so different now. You see what I'm
First thing
saying?
he was like, "Don't put your hands on my kids."
It's so different now because you may say, "Don't put your hand on my kid." I may be cool with it. You see what I'm saying? You may say so. It's so different now. Long time ago, what they said, it took a village to raise a child, but now every household is so different now that it becomes debatable. Some parents may be okay with you letting your child eat inside the room. I ain't cool with that. You better eat at this table. Some parents may be okay with your girlfriend inside the room. I got okay with my son turned 18, but leave the door open. You see what I'm saying? The whole nine. But now there's so many different rules. So now it's not wrong. It's just different. And when you have so many different of parenting, you see what I'm saying? Some parents cool with the mama got on little shorts on, showing her tattoos and all that stuff there so the kids can see it. Some parents may say, I don't rock like that. But there's a story for every parent now. You see what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of kids get so confused because they be like, well, mama, so-and-so let me do this. You don't let me. And other so-and-so. But see, when we grew up, all our parents, they didn't even have to know each other.
They were on the
but
same
they was
page.
on the same page.
Yep.
They didn't even know each other, but was on the same page. That's real talk. But in today's time, we rock so many different ways till it's hard to parent now. You see what I'm saying? Because you know, your way may not be like mine. Mine may not be like Chip. Chip way may not be like Chucky. But when we grew up, it was straight unison. You know what I'm saying? So that's why parenting now is so hard. But one thing that we all must know, talk about myself, and I throw myself out there, and I don't care whoever watching. One thing I can tell you is that our kids is making all of us disqualified to tell anybody how to parent. Our kids is making us disqualified.
No, that's true.
To tell anybody how to parent. My son is making me disqualified to tell you what you're doing wrong. Your daughter is making you disqualified to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Your kids and that's one thing we got to understand. We can talk all this noise in the book, but who we protecting is making us disqualified to talk to anybody about how to parent. Because guess what? My way just ain't working, Doc. I ain't lying to you.
But
it ain't working.
I understand that, but I will say this. At some point in time, there has to be an understanding on both sides. That's with the parent and with the children. My daughter put a post on Facebook after she saw me on the news, and she said that she was so proud to call me her dad. And that touched me more than anything whatsoever, because we haven't always been as close as we were because she was here with her mom and I was in the military. But to see that post and see how things have transpired, that's where you're talking about the pain and the joy coming afterwards. It was a lot of pain that went through, that I had to go through to get where I'm at now. And sometimes that pain is what is so hurtful, because sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. So I have to tell you, you know, and I appreciate y'all being here, because sometimes we try to help. We try to help the situation. We try to speed it up, like you say with the microwave. We try to speed it up because it's not going as fast as we wanted to go. It's not being mended but there's a process. Without struggle, there's no progress. And I'm thanking God that He allowed me to go through the struggle, because I'm seeing the reaping of the benefits of what He done took me through.
That's right.
What is it? What is it? Sherry Antoinette says, she says it's different now because we were actually abused with all those spankings we got back in our times. It just wasn't called abuse. I'm not going to say I didn't get a lot of spankings when I was growing up, but other households, a lot of households now that I kind of opened my eyes to it were getting an overwhelming amount of spankings. Now my daughter, on the other hand, it felt like my daughter from the age that she was 7 to 12 was getting spankings like every other day almost. And it was like, okay, well, and it's not like spankings where you just getting whop, whop, whop. No, it's like, okay, well, no, you did this and this and this. Now it's like, well, you get, all right, you know, that's two poppings. All right, so go ahead and put your hand on the chair and you get your two lashings and then go about your business. But it's like, all we ask you to do is just stop lying. I think right around 12, I think she got her last spanking. It's because like she was like, "Oh, Dad, I'm just tired of getting spanking." I was like, "Okay, well, why did it take you so long?" Because all we ask for you to do is just tell us the truth. Because we already know you're getting a spanking because you're lying. And then I was like, and then I think that and the fact that her mom busted her in the mouth, you know what I mean? But she was just she was a good kid, very, very good kid, but she was just stubborn and hard headed and everything like that. And it's like, okay, well, I want what's best for you. But now that she's on her own, I'm hoping that what we instilled in her, she is able to take out there. And that's one area that I feel that she might be lacking in is the motivation to want what's better for herself. I think that's where that I'm waiting for that joy to come in, that happiness when I see my daughter be like, okay, well, Dad, this is what I want to do. I want to go in this direction, and here's what I've done to go ahead and begin to get there. And then a couple of weeks later, she's like, okay, well, here's me in school. Here's me doing this. I want to see those things so that way I can be like, okay, yeah, it's painful watching you just be like, okay, I'm cool with where I am right now when I know you have so much. You are my child. You came from my loins. I know you have the ability to be better than what you are at the moment. That's true. What I want for you is I want exception. Like if you can sing, I want you to sing your tail off. If you want to be a podcaster or a live streamer and do gaming videos, you are good at it, but you're going to have to learn that you're going to have to start doing the things you don't like to do like you love it.
That's right. Yeah, and I think she'll be joyful to see what you got on because it's pretty sunshine.
Let me comment.
It ain't that funny, Bone.
On that about the abuse part. I heavily agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why. I remember doing an illustration before about how can a parent get their child to clean their room up, and most parents said, I'll take their video game out their room and I'll get them to clean the room up. Some parents said, I'll tell them do this here, whatever, get them to clean the room up. And all of those things there came up to be abuse because of if you got to take away something from somebody to get them to do what you want them to do, that's abuse. And a lot of us grew up with that, and that's the way a lot of our parent. And I was parent that way when I was a child, so it really messed me up that it made me be more enticed to women that was somewhat abusive. It was toxic because I was so used to being penalized through something. No, it's no lie. If a chick was to keep my car up, I'd be like, boy, I'm in love with her. You see what I'm saying? Because of the simple fight, just being 100, because I was so used to stuff being taken away from me because I didn't do what I supposed to do. I didn't have it to a point that somebody was able to talk to me. You see what I'm saying? And have a conversation with me. And one of the main things I told my mom when I got older, I said, Mama, there was a way you could have got me to clean up the room without taking my game out. There's ways to get your point across without hitting them. You see what I'm saying? There's ways you can get your point across, but by doing that with the hitting and things like that, you putting fear inside of them and not respect. Then when it's time for us to end up start dating and meeting somebody, then now we meeting them in fear. You see what I'm saying? And all that there. So you got women when they brought up like that, then they start trying to block your call to try to prove a point. You see what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Because it came from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If you ever think about having a fire, anytime a fire comes, after they put the fire out, they want to find out where it came from. It started from somewhere. You see what I'm saying? On all the behavior, even the stuff with our kids, it started from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I still think that there's always a way that discipline could have been done. We was brought up, a lot of us got a lot of whoopings. We didn't believe in going in timeout and things like that. But maybe timeout would have been a good thing, you know what I'm saying? But when we was brought up, man, mama just grabbed the switch and just started throwing haymakers, you know what I'm saying? And as I get older, I realized something that really blessed me was that when I was in school teaching, and this teacher had a parent conference with a parent, and she said that I got a parent conference with one of my best students with his mother. And I said, how you got a parent conference with one of your best students' mother? She said, because he got an F. So I'm like, that's crazy. So the lady have a parent conference, teacher had a parents conference with the child's mother, and the child's mother said, I want you to know, he got an F in your class, and guess what? I'm taking him off this, I'm taking him off this, and guess what? And he can't talk on the phone. And the teacher said, I got you, but can I say something to you? And the mama said, what? She said, have you ever realized why he got an F? He can't really read. So sometimes, we get punished off something beyond our control. If you find out the why instead of the what, you see what I'm saying? Then you will see. You was punishing him. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he got an F, but why he got an F? He got an F because he couldn't really read that good. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times we got punished so much because of the what, instead of finding out why. Why do I have an F? Why do my child have an F? You see what I'm saying? We see, as soon as our parents told that F, what happened? We got a whooping quickly. Boom. But why? Why does my child have an F? Well, he can't really read. He's slow in reading, but he's a good student. You see what I'm saying? Let me get him some help.
But this is what you said, and this is what we all said. A lot of the roles that we've taken, they don't come with instructions.
Yep.
It come by trial and error, what we've been imparted into, what we've seen, or what someone has taught us. So my thought is, in all reality, a lot of it, we talk about the 2-for-1 special. and I say that because we got our butt tore up by our neighbors, and we got our butt tore up by our parents. But this is the thing, and I tell people this. We didn't bury a lot of kids back then. We bury more kids now because of the things that we're not doing.
That's true.
So my thoughts is, no, I don't believe in timeout. I don't. Because my thoughts is, bad behind John is still going to do what he want to do after he come out of timeout. Yeah. The Bible tells us about sparing the rod and spoiling the child. So therefore, sometimes we have to do that. Because in all reality, what if some of the parents and the neighbors that we had didn't tear our butt up? Where would we be?
That's true.
It was a community.
It was a community. Like you said, it takes a village to raise a child. But so many people now are saying, don't do this for my child. Don't do this to my child. Or you're trying not to do stuff that happened to you because you're trying to prevent something from happening. But that's where that tough love come from.
It was a community because what it take 300. This is studies. The statistics shows 300 people with the same culture can change the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's how you get colonized. They colonize the whole thing, and it's true.
And that's and
they don't got to be from there,
right? As long as they are together, that's the thing.
See, but don't it makes you wonder now? Because I went to me and Keisha went to DC, right? And we were just driving around. I was going back to my old neighborhood, just showing her everything. And we drove past Chinatown. Chinatown has been there, and it's actually called Chinatown.
Yeah.
And when you drive past it, it don't even look like you in DC anymore.
Words and everything.
Yeah, words in Chinese, and next to it, it's Starbucks, and they go to you got this restaurant with this on here, Chinese words next to it, and it's crazy that they can bring their culture here, and we get villainized for how we do our culture or whatnot. Like we don't need. We could have like Black Wall Street again, because that was our culture. I know for sure that everybody in there
soul food, our culture. Black. You don't got no black nut. You got Jamaicans, right?
Right. You got Haitians.
You got Haitians.
Yep.
You got Africans.
Tell me what black. Oh, Black America. Tell me what culture we got. None. We don't got no culture.
That's because a lot of times the mindset is like the crabs in the barrel. They got the crab mentality. They don't want to help you get up. They too busy trying to pull you back down where they're at. And it's sad, but I mean, I'm gonna put it out there. We on national TV, well, on live social media. I used to tell people all the time that officers may not like one another, but they're gonna help one another. We not like that. We too busy trying to hold each other back. We don't want you to get farther than where we're at. So we don't want to help you.
and
we'll rather die
and
than pass something.
and-
on.
Exactly.
and that's true. Also, this right here, I got to use the word time. Time is this here. More than likely, we all allotted almost 8 hours of sleep. It's just average, right? You got a full-time job. That's 8 hours, right? That's 16 hours. Subtract 24 from 16. What you got? You got 8 hours left in the day. It's not that long, right? How much of that time do we put in our kids? A lot of time we put a lot of it in social media, our own stuff, the whole nine. We are taking so much time away that we're not even putting time into them. That's not enough time left. You see what I'm saying? If you seriously think about it, for real, 8 hours, you may go to sleep. You go to work 8 hours. That's 16 hours already spoken for. You got 8 hours left. That's not a long time for you to chill out, do your thing, whatever, the whole nine. How much of that time are you willing to invest inside your kids? Some of us saying, I'm going to go back to school, get my degree and all that. Okay, that's cool too. But at the same time, how much time is left with that child? So when that child mess up, you got no choice but to punish them because we don't have enough time to figure out the reason why.
Right.
Why is my child slow learning? Why my child can't read? You know why? Because we don't have enough time to figure it out. Time is always going to be the main reason right there. I remember a true story, bro. I remember reading something before. This child asked her mother. She said, "Mama," she said, "how much do you make an hour?" The mama said, "Child, I ain't got time for all that stuff though." She said, "How much you make an hour?" She said, "Mama said, child, I make about $20 an hour." Child said, "Okay, can I hold $20?" Mama said, "Yeah." Gave mama $20 right back and said, "Can I buy an hour of your time?" A lot of times, man, these kids just need our time, but we so consumed of being busy. You see what I'm saying? We are so busy not understanding. If you doing life on sleep and going to work, you really don't have that much time left for the day. Think about it. You got 8 hours. That's yours. 8 hours. Within 8 hours, I gotta eat. I'm gonna talk a little bit. I may go on social media for a little while. But how much time do that child get?
And here's the crazy part about it. People don't ever think this, right? If we only get 8 hours of time with our children, but we send them to school, they get 8 hours a day with strangers.
There you go.
Other people's kids and how they are raised.
There you go.
Teachers that might not have no good for them.
There you go.
And all of that. So they are being indoctrinated and institutionalized in some mess. And it's our responsibility to try to get them out of it within the 8 hours that we get. But then even still, the 8 hours of sleep that we get, we go to work 8 hours.
Absolutely.
We got to go grocery shopping.
Yep.
We got to pay the bill.
Absolutely.
If you got extracurricular activities, we got to go there because I went to all. I think I missed out of Nana's entire school. I think I missed one extracurricular activity. Everything that she wanted to do, from track and field to playing flag football, lifting weights, ROTC, whatever it is that she wanted to do, I was there except for just one. So doing karate and all of that. So I was there for that, all of those things, but just trying to make sure that she's going down the right path. It's kind of hard to kind of take them out of there unless we all create that community where we homeschool our kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? And get them out of the rat race of life and be like, okay, well, we want you to socialize. But sometimes socializing with other people's kids is probably the worst thing you can do.
It can be a blessing and a curse because you still want them to be able to interact socially. So even if you're homeschooling, where's the social skills coming in at? They're only going to be social with the family.
Sure.
So when they get out there with somebody else, they what we call green. And when you're talking about that, I thought about it because when I retired out of the military, this is what I told the principal. I said, my son is a special need kid. He's a high functioning special need kid. I say, so he's my sole priority. I'm retired. I say, you'll get tired of seeing me at the school before I get tired of coming because I'm going to hold your feet to the fire and make you do what you do. But now that we're thinking about it, when Funny Bone just said 8 hours, you're right. We don't have but 8 hours. And I thought about what I do as a coach. My kid played for me, but that's still not instilling what he needs to be successful in life. I'm teaching him how to play the game as well as other kids. So I'm still not focused totally on him. Then when you think about practice being maybe 2 hours, think about they got to go home and eat. got to take a bath. God forbid they got homework. How much time do we really have left?
That's true. That's true. That's true. And
well-
yeah, that's real true. And I seen something that made me think about how things was with with my dad. I remember when my mom and dad got a divorce. Um, Life had kind of went downhill for me because, of course, my dad saw me every other weekend. So a lot of times when a father do see the child every other weekend, he basically play a part of not being a father, but it's called a weekend warrior.
Right.
That it's time to have fun. He only got 2 days with me. And so he didn't know how to, because being that him and my mom left on bad terms, it was hard for them to co-parent. You know what I'm saying? And so when my dad did see me, he only had me for 2 days. So guess what I'm doing? I'm gonna have fun, cotton candy, the whole 9 yards, and all that stuff there. So it was a little bit complicated too for me coming from a single family home. Also too, using my mom and dad as an example. I think a lot of times in the Black community, it's a high success rate that the kids do well only if mom and daddy stay together. And that's not right. You can't force me to be with your mom in order for me, you know what I'm saying? But if we think about it, because a lot of Black people, we leave off hate. You see what I'm saying? If it's over between me and you, I hate you, you hate me. You see what I'm saying? And so now who gets punished? The child get punished off of it. And you know what I'm saying? And I think if both sides, if they agree not to be together, let's still stay plugged into our child. You see what I'm saying? And it was hard for my mama to do that because of, a lot of stuff that, my dad did, right? And it's scoring her so much that she ain't want me around the other woman and all that. And there's so much stuff, right? And that's why I always say, as I read, bro, a lot, I love trying to figure out the reason why. I never try to tell nobody they're wrong. I always try to figure out why is it like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Why? So we could try to figure out a way to fix it. But most times I see with fathers becoming fatherless, a lot of times it do happen when it was a bad breakup. You see what I'm saying? Your mama hate me. That's why I really couldn't go right. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stuff underneath it, man, that really hurt me, even with my dad, because how stuff was with him and my mom, it was a bitter divorce. It was so bitter, it messed stuff up between me and my dad. You know what I'm saying? Her and my dad didn't have no sit down conversation on, let's talk about it. It ain't working between me and you. Let's co-parent. It was you this, you that, you this, you that. And so now, guess who suffered for it? The child gonna ultimately suffer with a bitter divorce. The child gonna ultimately suffer with a bitter breakup. You see what I'm saying? The child gonna always pay that bill, because a lot of us are not mentally strong enough to say, although I don't like you no more, you don't like me, but let's still love our child. You see what I'm saying? Because being that child is a part of you, they're gonna suffer. Or then if I meet somebody and tell them about you, then they're gonna help me make my child suffer. So it's just a lot of things going on to a point of how to still co-parent even when I'm not with the parent.
I know a lot of your comments have come from Jarrell. She had placed in the comments here. Well, before I go to that, Shoni said today's kids are being raised by TV and video games all day, but where is the family conversations, the sit downs together, finding out about each other each day? You're right. I know when Nana was here, I tried to get into watching Baddies with her, but that just is something I'm not interested in, because she liked the rigidity of watching other women do ratchet stuff on television. I said I just can't get with that, because I feel like our women can be a lot better than what they portray on television. Jarrell says, I had mentioned something in reference to homeschool. Jarrell says homeschool. She says, man, do you remember COVID? Kids came back dumber. Kids came back dumber. We still seeing the impact. She says men are needed in the household, not just at games. Every other weekend is great if consistent, but more is needed. Dads can't just give up because dad and mom are fighting. Now, here's the one thing about it, and I'm gonna mention this. This is as a response to that. At the end of the day, right? A man having to deal with a quarrelsome woman and she has the kids sometimes, and I'm gonna say it that you might not like it.
Go ahead.
Sometimes it's just best to throw the baby off with the bathwater. Honestly, tell you the truth, because dealing with a quarrelsome woman who's putting all of this hatred in your child, it's just best not to deal with it, because the child is going to grow up and the child is going to see exactly the type of woman you are. Then they're going to want to get your story at the end of the day. Now, my mom, she is not she was not a bad mom at all. She didn't back talk or bad mouth my dad at all. But what I wanted to find out was like what caused the separation, what happened. And when I got the other end of the story, when I found out, oh yeah, my father was on drugs and things like that. So that was the reason for why we had to leave. So at the end of the day, if my father wasn't on dope or whatnot, would the possibilities of us still being a family have been there? It would possibly have, but it might not either. But it's good to know both sides of the story.
That's key too, man. And even when I did it with my mom, when I was around my mom, she always said bad things about my dad. Then when I'm around him, sometimes he'll throw blows at my mom. And I was thinking of the fact of even with Jesus, when Peter came to him, he always asked Peter questions about himself. And so I started asking my mom, I said, tell me something bad about you. Tell me what you could do better. Then when I talked to my daddy, I said, tell me what you can do better. Because see, what's going on now is that the women talking about the men and men talking about the women, instead of the women talking about the women and the men talking about the men. You see what I'm saying? The only way a lot of things can get fixed is that side correct that side. But what we doing, especially in the black community, we keep crossing the street. You see what I'm saying? If you hear a lot of women talk, a lot of them are going to bash us. Oh, I got you. A lot of that stuff is true. But let a man bash a man. Let a woman bash a woman. What a mother should do, let me hear a woman's voice. What a man should do, let me hear a man's voice. But I definitely think in the black community, we keep crossing the street too much. You see what I'm saying? The mother saying, this is what the man should do. And the man said, hey, I do this here if you do this. That ain't going to fix it. Well, what to fix it is, I tell you what, let me get a man to tell the fathers what the father should do. Tell you what, let me get a woman to tell a woman what the mother should do. And then you meet in the middle. I think what's going on a lot, especially inside of black culture, we cross the street a lot. You see what I'm saying? And it make it very hard. You see what I'm saying? Because, and that's why in the black cultures, both of us is so defensive, men and women. We're so defensive because I will take, and I ain't gonna lie, and this women, listen to me, women, I will take fathering better from you. You a man versus a woman. Because to me, I'm so, we've been brought up to be so defensive now. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking you coming at me. You see what I'm saying? And the same thing, I just think what it is that our sides just got to stay on each other's side and say, okay, what can we do to be better? Okay, women, y'all talk amongst each other. What can y'all do to be better? But I think it's not really like that now. We just,
here's the thing, right? And this is not bashing women at all. It's just that from what I've noticed from the culture, right? Men typically can take advice.
That's
from
true.
Another man.
That's true.
And then if you tell, if we were just having a conversation, Funny Bone was like, well, listen, I feel like if I know that you're doing something wrong, I feel like I can come to you and pull your coattail and you're absolutely right.
That's right. You did
I feel like, dog, I don't agree with what you did. I think you need to correct that as your brother. Now, can a woman go to another woman and do that, and they they hold themselves accountable for that? Because obviously, if you're not going to take, I follow a lot of female podcasters as well that are, I would guess say men-centric, I guess.
Facts.
And they understand where we're coming from. But then when you listen to the comments, the first thing that they call these women are pick-me's or whatnot. And it's like, okay, well, how are you going to call this woman a pick-me when she's trying to tell you what could better your situation overall? You know what I mean? Now, I was looking at Kevin Samuels. I know a lot of people might know Kevin Samuels. I was looking at him when he was talking to men before he started talking to women. And he blew up because his focus changed to going across the street. And once his focus changed to going across the street, that's when women jumped on his case. Like, how dare you come and tell us about how we are and what we should change, so that way you can be better so that way y'all can be better for us. You know what I mean? So that's the dilemma that we're in. Yeah, men don't have a problem with taking criticism, taking accountability, and fixing things when it's coming from another man. Men can do that all day.
I totally
Can
agree.
the question is going to be,
agree.
can a woman go to another woman and be like, listen, you raising your kids wrong.
Yeah.
I think you're doing this wrong. I don't think if you got a good husband at home or he has his shortcomings, I think you should stay. Are you speaking positive? No.
Yeah.
They say it's out there. They say single women keep women single.
I agree.
So let's be real honest about that.
That's true.
Because I got y'all that's with me at the end of the day. I don't think none of you all ever told me, yeah, Leroy, you better than that. You should go ahead and get a divorce. You should go ahead and get separated. You should go ahead and split up. You can do better than that. I don't think none of y'all came to me with that. But when you hear women, they're like, ooh, girl, you can do so much better than that, girl. You got it, girl. And next thing you know, you're getting all of the fluff in your ear because they're telling you what appeases to your feelings versus about what's factually being said or what's factually being done. So at the end of the day, I 50% with you, Funny Bone. The women, they can go to each other, but do I see any positive outcome coming from that? It's going to be, I don't see it.
And one reason why I said that is that some people you can teach off conversation, and some people you can teach off influence. And one thing I learned with a lot of women, sometimes you can teach them off influence on saying, I'll make the first move. I tell you what I do. I'm going to sit here and talk to Leroy about what I should do. So what I'm trying to do is influence her to say, can you talk to Sally about what you need to do? Because some of them cannot be taught to conversation. A lot of them, you can be taught to through influence. If I make the first move and say, let me talk to my brother first, you see what I'm saying, how to do it. You see what I'm saying? And then hopefully she can pick it up. I'm hoping she can. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm doing the reverse psychology, I'm doing something that I would want her to do. You see what I'm saying? And hoping that she pick it up because of, like you said, a lot of them is so hard to talk to. So let me try to talk to you through influence. Let me do it first. Like whatever I do, whatever I ask somebody to do, I try to do it first. Okay. To try to influence. You know what I'm saying? If I say sell 50 tickets, I'm gonna sell 100. You see what I'm saying? To try to influence you to do it because I'm leading by example. And so that's the thing there, is to try to influence, you know what I'm saying, on, okay, you ain't gonna take how I'm talking to you. So let me try to influence you a certain kind of way,
I think one thing we have to remember is that misery loves company. Think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Misery loves company. But when we're talking about the fences, the men on one side, the women on one side, in all reality, the one that's suffering the most is the child. Because what happens is when they're talking about each other, in a sense, like Sharonda's saying, that child is going to eventually make a decision or make a choice of who they're going to support.
That's it.
And however they feel it is, whether it's that way or not, whoever's getting the most of their ear is going to get that's whose side they're going to be on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, my little girl's mom didn't talk bad about me ever. But she just didn't like the situation.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's what built up the anger inside of her.
Yeah. Hey, and also, man, I'm gonna say this, man. Man, I make God laugh a lot. I know I do, because one thing about being comics, bro. Our minds just go broad, right? And man, I said, man, you know what? We talk about parenting, but nobody ever talk about parenting if the mama and daddy don't work. Because a lot of times we talk about parenting in a 2-parent household. But what about if mama and daddy don't work? Do we have some examples on what if mama and daddy don't work? You see what I'm saying?
That's good.
How to do it. You see what I'm saying? Because, it should be like a two-way thing. Okay, let's talk about parenting with two same parents, right? But let's talk about parenting if mama and daddy don't work, if mama can't stand daddy no more. You see what I'm saying? How you do it then? You see what I'm saying? And that's that. And so that's a thing there too to think about too. On sometimes you got, and I no disrespect towards single people, but I don't let single people talk to me and I'm married. You follow me? Sometimes you got people with no kids talk to people who have got kids. How can you tell me something? Sometimes you got people that got the same kids, the same mom, dad in the house, talk to people who's blended. You see what I'm saying? And those two different conversations. You see what I'm saying? How can you parent and mom and dad ain't together? those are the ones really ain't talking because it's a high percentage of it being like that. There's a high percentage of parenting now, and mom and daddy ain't in the same house. That should be a main conversation too. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a high chance that it can be good if mom and dad in the same house.
That's that situation that comes with no book of instructions.
In no book of instructions.
Exactly.
There's mom and dad, they both love each other. Okay, they both gonna put inside your life. But what happened if mom and daddy don't make it? What happens then? What are the ones gonna show up then? And that's the thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. A lot of y'all was in the chat. I appreciate all of y'all that was in there. Jarrell, Shoni, Latanya. I can go back to Miss Antoinette, all of you all. Do me a favor and please like, comment, and share. We've been up for about going on for about 2 hours now. So we're going to go ahead and end the conversation. Before I do so, I want to go around the room and see if y'all want to plug anything. Make sure that y'all got anything that y'all have coming up that y'all want us to know about. We'll start with you, Brother Ernest.
What I would say is thank you for everyone that commented, because every comment matters. Closed mouths don't get fed, so we can't learn from each other if nothing is being said. Thank you.
Thank you. Bone.
Mine would be straight up to everybody. Don't allow nobody to speak in your life if they haven't paid your price. There's so many people that speaking inside others' lives that haven't paid the price of the person they talk to. Check for receipts. Somebody come to you, ask for a receipt. Because sometimes we got people that don't have receipts. Try to tell people what's going on. Ask for a price check. Bro, let me see your receipt. And I'm very careful with who talk to me. And that's no disrespect towards nobody. When I lost my daddy, the ones I talked to, the ones lost theirs too. If you still got your daddy, just pray for me. But if you lost yours, hug me, tell me how to do it. And I think that's the thing. Use experience, use a price check, man. Because we're allowing people to speak inside each other's lives who haven't paid the price. You know what I'm saying? And that's real.
You saying lost your daddy, like physically?
My daddy dead, bro.
Oh, my daddy dead.
Yeah, so you can talk.
But he got to be dead,
Bro.
Not for
Shut up,
no.
man.
That's crazy.
Shut up. Man.
That's without crazy talk.
Yeah.
He do that every show.
Every
show.
Hey.
Y'all been talking.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping like a bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
he need
what is
a.
on serious? Hey, bro, my daddy dead, bro.
Yeah.
Mine is
Hey,
Chip
bro, it is too. Like,
Yeah. Chip over here
you a
snoring
fool,
with
bro.
his eyes open, man. He be over here just struggling trying to stay awake. What you got, Chip?
Man.
Sleep apnea.
Sleep
No,
out.
I don't got that. Oh, yes, I do. I got
Yeah,
sleep
you
apnea.
I mean,
Hey.
Listen.
he got a heart machine.
September 13th
Oh, yeah.
Yep, September 13th.
Yeah.
at the Comedy Zone,
Absolutely.
7 o'clock. It'll be Funny Bone, Leroy, Jen, and Holly. And of course, me.
That's right.
And the singer,
And the singer, Rhonda.
who your DJ?
Rhonda will be there. Rhonda will be there. You know, y'all come out and support. Buy them tickets.
All right, September 13th.
Oh, yeah. And then I got, oh my God, y'all got to pray for me. Brought to you by menopause. I mean, I'm playing, y'all. I got the Hey Girl, Hey comedy show. All females, all estrogen. September the 26th. We'll be talking about that thing real soon, man. All women. Women DJ Tan gonna be on the ones and twos.
That's my DJ.
Absolutely. So we got a great lineup, all women. So hopefully everybody come out and enjoy that thing there, man. We never really did this thing to show love to all of the women, man, that's doing this thing in the comedy business. So we're looking forward to support them. And let me tell you something about doing things in life. The best time to do something is when you're not on the program. That's when you're showing that leadership is on your way. When you could do something and you ain't even in it. It's coming soon. Get ready.
All right, what you got, Fablo?
Absolutely nothing.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. And in closing, since Fable ain't have anything, I just want to say this, right? I appreciate all of you all for coming through to talk about what we got going on as far as mental health. I have a special that I recorded called Therapy that we just finished recording, and it will be out soon. So that way you can go ahead and see that. And to the ladies that are out there, You always say that for the head has to become better at what he does to be better for the family. So this is what this is about. I understand that you want to speak on the things that came as far as before us, but we have to start moving forward now and start taking accountability for each other now. So yeah, there are some deadbeat dads out there, but we also can say that there are some deadbeat moms too. And let's be real, the kids shouldn't always go directly to the mother first, just because they are the quote unquote the one that does the nurturing or whatnot. The system has it all messed up and it's created so that way we can keep creating this same cycle. Men, you're absolutely right. I think men should go ahead and start taking responsibility for getting their kids, because statistically it shows that a single father, the outcome in a single father household is the same as a father and mother household. You know what I mean? So let's be real and understand that a lot of these things that are going on with our children are because of the fact that they're being raised in single mother households. So at the end of the day, fathers, we need to step up and do what we need to do and start taking accountability for our children. All right. Other than that, you got what you about?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you want to feel good, sunshine. You see that yellow?
Hey, can you put a close up on my man's shirt?
No,
because his titties is under.
Oh, you got them too. But you got low self-esteem. You gonna get a BBL.
You got Venice Beach, California titties.
You gonna get a BBL, right?
I ain't get no. You can't get no BBL.
You said you was.
I'm surprised you up now. You talking now?
Yeah, because y'all done the year. Hey,
yeah, I'm surprised you had
30
something.
minutes all I had.
Yo, I'm surprised you had something to say now. Yo, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I want to thank y'all for tuning into the Anger Management Podcast. Man, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Yeah, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. So thank y'all, man. Y'all have a good night.
It's been real.
All right.
Thanks.
Peace.